What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Crew 2, and in this video I'm going to take a look at the Mercedes-Benz AMG C63 touring car. Funnily enough, I've never actually really driven this car because I've only have 34 miles on it. I have been noticing this seems to be an actual ongoing thing with these cars. For example, like the Ford GT and or like the SLS, I do not have any mileage as well, so definitely stay tuned for these cars in the future. But my goodness, I really haven't driven many of these cars, which I do have a feeling a lot of players are also going to be in the same boat as I am. But the C63, guys, is actually going to be a car I really did not know that much about. When I first saw this car, I honestly thought it was kind of fake, but then I realized I wanted to do some research and realized it was actually in the DTM, which I'm honestly not going to try to pronounce that because I would probably butcher it. It really is incredible some of the engineering that goes behind these vehicles for racing and or just regular street cars as well. I'm honestly pretty mind blown with how some of these cars are, but the AMG, guys, is going to do around 251 miles per hour, easily making it faster than most of the motorcycles and not all of them in the touring car category, which is probably not going to be insanely shocking. But the AMG to me is probably going to be one of those cars that you're most likely really going to love and or hate it. The main reason why I say that, guys, I personally can't really get past the looks of this car though. It does honestly look pretty dang unique without a doubt, but overall the front of it kind of reminds me of like a weird looking fish. Then again, I would also say you could probably look past some of the looks of these vehicles depending on how good they actually are. One of the funniest ones about this is actually going to be the Renault, because when I first saw that car I really thought that thing was actually an Audi R8, and with this car I'm basically thinking it's like a weird looking fish and or like an odd looking wide body kit vehicle, but I still really do love the engineering that goes behind these race cars, so even for that reason I would still race this thing around and see how it can do. I also do like the engine sound on this car as well. It does sound pretty dang awesome, and it really does handle nicely. You can actually feel this car gripping around corners, which I really do think is going to be one of the biggest positives about this update. I really do hope we can see something like this in the street category and or the hypercars, at least before Motorfest does come out, because I do know Motorfest has a different handling model. I really cannot wait to jump on that game and start playing that. But overall, guys, I do think the AMG is going to be a pretty decent car. I really do feel like a lot of the cars in the touring car class are most likely going to fall behind though, even though a lot of these do seem to be a lot better now, which might mix up the gameplay. It has definitely been mixed up for the better now after that one update hit them as well. I have been noticing a lot more of those cars being used except like one of them, which is honestly awesome. Sure, the classes are still going to be dominated by some of the better cars, but at least we now have an option to actually use different ones and still have fun while doing it. And also being able to get a high score in the summit I think is awesome. Overall, guys, I do want to know your thoughts on the AMG in the comments below. It's always a great thing to see actually noticing a lot more cars being used in summits. I have been noticing a lot more cars being used now, especially in the leaderboards. It really is nice to see this being broken up instead of seeing one car. But overall, guys, I do want to know your thoughts on the AMG in the comments below. And here are the updated settings on this vehicle.